Welcome to People in the Know. I'm Margi Kyle. And if you have a very interesting and different job and you're doing something that's very helpful to our community, we would love to know. Today, I am talking to Buddy Phillips, who has brought music to a higher level with Heaven Reigns. And who is in Heaven Reigns? Who are the main characters?
Thank you for having me, Margie. We have Mike Jackson sings lead, and that's
Real Mike Jackson.
the real Mike Jackson. Yes, wears two gloves, of course, and he sings lead, which is melody most of the time.
Okay.
John Sarver is our tenor, and he sings in the rafters. I mean, he's got a high voice and sings tenor. Larry Horton is our bass.
Oh, he's
He's fantastic. Got a great vocal range, and I sing baritone. So I'm sometimes going up, sometimes in the lower notes, but kind of filling in the middle.
Now, how did
So
you
that's
get
our
together?
well, John and Mike and I sang in the choir for years together
Okay.
at Mount Zion.
Yeah.
So we sang in the choir together. So we knew that each of us had, a different ear and a different vocal range. Mike and I sang together a couple of times, and so Mike and John got the idea at one point to say, "Why don't we put together a trio or a quartet, and let's grab Buddy and pull him in?" So the three of us started singing as a trio for about a year, I guess, and we were recovering those high parts. And we were younger, of course, and doing this for about 10 years. So, we're having to modulate some of the music down to where we can actually hit the notes. But anyway, we sang as a trio for a while and we're looking for a bass. We didn't have another bass in our choir that we wanted to pull in at the time. And what I didn't know was that Larry Horton was a fantastic singer.
Yeah.
He's been a musician most all of his life, but Larry has made it his aim to be at the front door welcoming people as they come in to the sanctuary. So he said, I can't do both. I can't be in the choir and do my job as an usher and welcoming folks. So Larry heard us. It's a long story, so sorry for the length of this, but Larry heard us sing and said, they really need a bass. And we had already approached Larry to say, well, I understand that you sing bass. Would you be willing to sing with us? And after hearing us, he looked at his wife, Jan, and said, they really need a bass. So I'm going to see what I can do to help them out.
And
So
he just complimented all of you.
oh yeah, he just really rounded out the quartet, which gives us quite a range of different songs that we can sing. Some of
Yes.
them, all of the songs that we sing will have a feature of one or more voices. For example, Larry may sing the lead on most of them, like the "Oh Holy Night" or "Go Tell It on the Mountain." So he's really booming along, and then we come in as more of the angels, if you will, with higher tones. Or we may have some that are more like ballads that Mike would sing, and then we fill in with oohs and ahs. And so it's a typical gospel quartet.
Yeah.
And if you're familiar with the Gaither vocal band or some of that style of singing, you would recognize some of the work that we do.
Yeah.
We sing with track.
What's your biggest gig?
I'd say the one that was most exciting for me was when we did the baseball game. We sang the national anthem down at the BB&T Park in Charlotte.
Oh,
So
that's huge.
being on the jumbotron was kind of an experience. We had another one that was real moving, at least to me and to the other guys. We sang at the police memorial service. Every year they honor officers that have fallen over the years in
Yes.
Mecklenburg County, and we were asked to sing a couple of songs there, and that was quite a memorable experience. We've done small churches. We did a Valentine's banquet back in 2020 that was just before COVID and kind of our last big
Yeah.
period. Still the one,
And you've done a lot of funerals too.
yes, and probably the hardest work that we do, because if you
Yeah.
have the family members remembering the loved one,
Yeah.
we get up to try to sing, that can be challenging for us because they are very moving services.
You have
But
a concert coming up, so if people want to hear you, how can they?
so yes, on December the 7th at 4:30, we're having a concert. It's really a variety of Christmas music, and we're doing it earlier in the afternoon in hopes that folks that don't really like to drive at night or
Right.
later in the
Thank
evenings.
you.
So we're positioning it there, and then if you want to go out to dinner, you still got time to do that. But so there will be the Davidson Cornelius parade that comes through on that same day, and so once all the traffic begins to really die down, that's when we open the doors at 4 o'clock, and we'll have some other singers that will be caroling and playing music before we start at 4:30.
Okay.
And there's no cost to it. So this is a benefit concert, and it's just our way of giving back to the community. And we're just hopeful that folks will come and enjoy the music. This season can be difficult. I mean, that's
Yes.
until I lost my parents and a sister and several close friends. I didn't realize how challenging this season can be.
Yes.
So we're doing it early in the month so that it's just all about the season. It's not in the middle of all the mad rush of buying gifts and fixing meals and that sort of thing. So the idea is to let folks just come in and experience joy
Yeah.
and let the music wash over them. And we're hopeful that it'll carry them through the season and give them joy and instead of some of the other pressures that come with
Thank
the
you
holiday.
so much for what you do. And do yourself a favor. Go to Mount Zion in Cornelius across from the police or fire department at 4:30, December 7th, and just let the music take you over. It'll be an experience you do not want to miss. Thank you, buddy. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Margaret.